Hey, Shalom, Akim. Jababa Ra'aza Allah from GMS London Camp. First and foremost, want to give all praises and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakhakodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of a great millstone, and blessings unto the hopeful and sincere elect. Bakwaya Kodash, that's the holy elect, Baha Ra'aza, in and around the four winds of the earth. Greetings, man. Just a quick one. I came across this video on the YouTube feed not too long ago regarding another Palestinian protest that was filmed in central London earlier on today. It's November the 4th today. And you had a camp, an Israelite camp that was in the same vicinity once again, similar to the situation in Chicago last week with the Wi-Fi guys in Chicago, the Warriors for Israel, the Watchmen for Israel camp, and them being in the wrong place at the wrong time. You know, basically being a bunch of clout chasers, man, and not being circumspect, and being diligent, man, in this truth. Because this camp here, they're usually not even in that same area that they was in today when they was doing the camp, whether it was filmed today or another day, but it looks like it was filmed today. They're not usually in that area. They're usually somewhere else in London. That's where they usually hold their camp, if I'm not mistaken. But they decided to go to this protest rally and hold a camp there and try and, you know, act bold and strong in front of these other nations, the Palestinians. And when you watch the video, you can just see the combativeness and you know, the not being wise as a serpent and harmless as a dove, basically. And basically they went there to get clout, and they got the clout that they wanted because the crowd started gathering, and it nearly went left. Well, it did go left, but it didn't go as bad as it could have been, because there was only a few of them, as you can see here, and there was many more of them Palestinians or so-called Ishmaelites, or not so-called, but it's so-called Arabs, so to speak, that were protesting regarding this whole Gaza, Hamas, and Israel conflict, Israeli conflict. And instead of them packing up and leaving, they decided to stand their ground, so to speak, and not in faith, but you know, basically in pride, and try to come against, you know, the thousands, man. And they could have got rushed by those thousands and hundreds of thousands of people that was out there, you know, hundreds to 1,000 people that was out there protesting, just like the similar situation in with the Wi-Fi camp in Chicago last week. And they definitely could have got hurt. But, you know, this is a clear example of how the Lord is basically setting the standard of who the true men of the Lord are and who's not, man. Who's out here for their own fame, glory, you know, who's out here to set up their own form of righteousness, and who's really serving Yahweh, Hashem, Yahweh Shai, in faithfulness and in truth, starting from the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, man, and the brothers on down, because you ain't going to find no Great Millstone camp outside no damn protest or no rally. You know, especially right now when things are getting so heated and intensified regarding these Palestinians, man, protesting. And we ain't going to see us holding any damn camps at their facilities, at their venues, man, because it's not going to make sense. No one's going to get edified. All it's going to do is cause chaos and contention, and more than likely someone's going to end up getting hurt, man. So, you know, this is just another example of, you know, waywardness and guys going around basically clout chasing in Israel and not really serving Yahweh, Hashem, Yahweh Shai in faith and sincerity, man. You know, they got their own agendas out here, seeking their own vain glory, but the glory that they're going to get is not what they're looking for, man, and it's ultimately going to end in an untimely death if they pursue, you know, these type of actions. And Esau is definitely going to use these as a ruse to condemn and demonize us in this truth, man. And these jakes don't seem to understand that, you know, you doing things like this and getting combative with the other nations and all that on camera, you know, Esau's going to use this as a proof of trying to say that we're extremists and all that, man. You know, getting into fights and all of these things, And it looks like these guys, even though they're not basically on the side of the Israelis, the Palestinians, they don't understand that. The guys that's in the protest, they just see the sign and they're thinking that these guys are down with the Israelis, man. Not knowing that we're totally different people. You know, we're not defending none of those people over there, either side of the Israelis or the Palestinians, because they're not of our seed. They're not of our nation, man. You know, we're fighting a different cause, you know. But anyway, I just saw this video, so I thought I'd do a quick response video. Seems like this is the you know, the wayward spirit that's out there right now with these different Israelite camps, you know, trying to seek their own type of vain fortune and fame, and you know, and basically clout, man. The clout chasers in Israel, man. There's a lot of clout chasing going on right now, but you know, it's gonna come back to bite these guys in the ass. It's not gonna end well for these people, because Yahweh Hashem Yahushua is not gonna protect these guys when it's all said and done. You know, when it comes down to the thick of it, to the thick of things, because there's going to be a great insurrection upon those that fear Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, but only the elect are going to be delivered. And I've just got two scriptures I want to read and close out. And this is Acts 5:35, and this is regarding the apostles when they got arrested and released, because the scriptures talk about men getting hemmed up and scourged, you know, put in prisons, you know, for being a witness unto this truth. But you got to do it in the right way, man. You got to do it in honesty and sincerity, man. You can't be just out here trying to force the hand of the Lord, being in that zealot Sakari type spirit, man. You know, that's carnal. These guys are moving carnal, basically. They're not moving spiritual, because you didn't have to go out there in that damn protest and go and so-called prophesy in that area that you was in, knowing that, you know, they was going to come across a whole bunch of protesters that are very angry and going to be contentious against you, you know, and being argumentative. It says Acts 5:35, it says, and said unto them, ye men of Israel, take heed to yourselves what ye intend to do as touching these men, talking about the apostles and Peter and and the men that was with him. You know, they got arrested, so to speak. It says, for before these days rose up Theudas, boasting himself to be somebody, to whom a number of men, about 400, joined themselves, who were slain. See, so these men, they Theudas and his followers, they were a bunch of carnal ass niggas, basically ninjas, you know, moving like in the spirit of the vagabond Jews, probably, that got cast out by them demons, because they're not of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, they're not of his flock, you know, basically of the elect, and they got slain. You know, these guys ended up getting slain, man, because they was in the wrong spirit, the wrong mindset. They didn't understand what they was being involved in. It says, and all, as many as obeyed him, were scattered and brought to naught, man. So if you ain't in this, if the Lord ain't sanctioning these protests, he's not sanctioning, you know, Jake going out there and you know, being volatile with these protests and all that the Lord's not with that, man. The Lord said, be harmless as doves and wise as a serpent, and to be peaceable with all men. So, you know, so you're supposed to avoid situations like this, not, you know, promote it, basically. It says, after this, man rose up, Judas of Galilee, in the days of the taxing, and drew away much people after him. He also perished, and all, it says, even as many as obeyed him were dispersed. You know, see, if you end up trying to present yourself as a man of the Lord, but you're doing it in the wrong way, in the wrong spirit, the Lord will let you get taken out, man. You know, you and your followers, man. Because, you know, that's not the spirit of the Lord. It's in verse 38, it says, and now I say unto you, refrain from touching these men, and let them alone, for if this counsel be, if this counsel or this work be of men, it will come to naught. But if it be of the Most High, you cannot overthrow it, lest happily you be found to fight against the Most High. Yeah, so, you know, there's standards out here. The Lord set a standard, and the true men of the Lord, man, they're not going to put themselves in dire situations where, you know, they're going to get into carnality and carnal fights and all these type of things when it's straight up avoidable. Especially, you know, when you're in a big city, man, there's so many places you can go and preach the word. So you can avoid going to these areas where he's holding these protests, and you're doing that because you're clout chasing, man. You're seeking some other form of attention, which you don't really want, because it's going to end up you putting us in the bad light as Israelites, and you looking stupid, before Israel, man. And the Lord will use you as a set example of how not to be in Israel, man. And that's what the Lord's doing right now. He's shedding the light on the people that are serving him and the ones that are serving him not. That's what the Lord's doing right now. Let me just get that precept and then close out. Because that's exactly what's happening right now, man. The Lord's setting the standard of who's really serving him and who's not serving him, man. Who's got their own agenda, so to speak. It's Malachi 3:17. And it says, and they shall be mine, saith the Lord of hosts, talking about the elect. In that day when I make up my jewels, and I will spare them as a man spareth his own son that serveth him. So the Lord is trying his elect. That fiery trial that we have to go through. But at the end, we're going to come out those precious stones and, gems, and be worthy of honor and, receiving the kingdom and salvation from the Lord when he returns, man. He'll be being purified, basically. And it says, then shall ye return and discern between the righteous and the wicked, between him that serveth the Most High and him that serveth him not. Yes, so you got two types of prophets out here. As I said earlier in another sit down, you got the prophets of Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shai, that's coming in sincerity and truth, and then you got the prophets of Baal, man. Prophets of the prophets of Satan, man, that are not in the right spirit, moving like the Nicolaitans and all that, man. And the Lord hated that church, man, because they didn't come in the right spirit. They came in the spirit of Baal. And you got a lot of guys that's coming in that same spirit nowadays, man. And they're being exposed. The light's being shone on them. And if they don't get their shit together and repent and get right before it's too late, they're going to be, destroyed, man. Because the Lord said he's bringing judgment, and he's going to start with the house of Israel. That's why a lot of things are happening now with these different camps. Now camps are getting attacked. You just had the situation in Indiana, with the ISUPK, or as they call themselves, the UPK, getting attacked, by some, foreigner, whether it was a psyop or a false flag. We don't know. We're going to get the information, find out later on. But things are happening, man. Guys are dropping out and get put to death. Guys are bugging out of the truth and losing faith, being disenchanted. So the Lord's distinguishing from who those that serve him in righteousness and who's that serving him not. The righteous and the wicked, man, So you got to be wise as a serpent, man, and harmless as a dove. And you got to be circumspect, man. Know what you're doing, know what you're going, Look around, man. Don't be fucking ignorant and just thinking because you can go anywhere and the Lord's just going to protect you, man. It doesn't work like that. You got to use your sixth sense, so to speak, man. Be wise, man, use wisdom, especially when you're going out there battling these elements and all that, man. So anyway, with that, I close out. Give all praises and glory to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai Bahashem Rekachodash. Shalom to the hopeful and sincere elect.